Okay, so I've clicked over to D2L, and this is going to be its own video, the D2L, and you might have a series of videos for this presentation just because I'm using a program called Screencast-O-Matic, and I only have 15 minutes within each video, and there's a lot of information that I'm trying to convey to you just to kind of give you an orientation to the class today. And also, then if you get confused about D2L at some point, you will have just the D2L portion of this video that you can, so you don't have to listen to the whole thing. So a good thing for both dual purposes. So I have already signed into D2L, and you can see that this is my home page. And there's some announcements here. It will tell you when D2L is down. It'll give you more information like campus-wide. There's some housing and food assistance stuff here. There's downtimes here. And then at the very bottom, you'll have all of your courses. I usually, instead of using the scrolling thing, I use this waffle up here in order to find my courses. And so before we do that, I want to direct your attention over here to this link. This is a link that you can get to Office 365, and then you will have access to Microsoft Word, you'll have access to PowerPoint and Excel and a bunch of other apps. I think Sway is on there, and there will be a place you will be able to save all of your documents right on Office 365 in the cloud. You also can download Office onto your computer, actually onto 5 devices. So you get to choose whether you want to do that. I downloaded it onto my computer, 365, just this week. It worked slick. Everything's perfect. It's a great benefit to students and faculty at Normandale. So take advantage of that. I can open Microsoft Word in D2L, and I can open PDFs, but there are other types of software that I cannot open, and if I can't open your document, then I can't grade it. So just be mindful that Microsoft Word works, and probably you should use that, and it's free, so that's awesome. Also, down here in Tools, there are some tutoring opportunities. There's a place to check for canceled classes. That's only if you have face-to-face classes, because our class will never be canceled because it's online. All right, so you can check this out and see what you have here. There should be some tutorials for D2L somewhere, but I thought they were right here. Maybe they're not. So I will look around for that as well. But anyway, I'm going to go back up to this waffle because it looks like a waffle, and I'm going to click on it so I can select a course. And the course that I'm going to select is our course, Freshman Composition, Section 7. And this brings us to our home page, and this is where we're going to begin every week, where I'm going to do some sort of video or welcome to the week. It might just be that I write you a little note under announcements. Sometimes I'll just do an audio file. Sometimes I will do a video. But as you can see, I did that already. I hope you've already listened to it. The other thing I want to direct your attention to, there's the content browser. The content browser is right here. This is a shortcut that you can use to get to a folder in content easily, and it will just be housed right here. So if I wanted to go to week 1, I could click on week 1, and then if I wanted to start with part 1, then here's the part 1, and I can then get to anything that I want from here. And oh look, there's the syllabus. Weird. Okay, so that's a shortcut. Underneath here as well, this has upcoming events. This is when all of the weeks open. That's really the only thing that I've put in at this point, or when all of the weeks open. This has updates. And again, here's the link to 365 right on our homepage. So that is our announcements page. I'm going to navigate over to content to go under to materials. So materials, content, and this shows all of the content for the course. So as you can see, there's a table of contents here, and I think that we're in week 1 because I clicked on it. So I'm going to click on table of content, and then it's not going there. Why? There we go. Table of contents, and this has everything that I have put in for you. This course schedule thing, that is D2L puts that out, and I don't ever put anything in there, so I'm not sure if that's going to continue to grow, because right now there's one thing in there and I didn't do it. But you can see that it says the next 7 days, and it has all the other stuff. So that might be another shortcut that you like, but if I were you, I would just stick to the regular table of contents. So the first thing on the table of contents is general course documents, and I'm going to click on that. And this is a place where you can go to find things quickly that's organized by unit. So I have general course documents. I have our syllabus as the first thing right here. There's a blog that that I've added to that goes over how to write a reflective paper in detail. It goes over the writing process in detail. It goes over what you can do for your everyday writing. It just gives you a good overview of how to write a writerly life. And I will direct you to that blog periodically throughout the semester, so you can figure out how to do things better. There's also 2 other things about, it's on Being, which is a podcast, and they interviewed Naomi Shihab-Nye, who's a poet. She talks about living a writerly life. And in the past, when I have done this with face-to-face classes, I open up D2L before the semester starts and encourage people to listen to that podcast, because that's really what my goal is for you, is to write, to live a writerly life. And she talks really well about that, and how to use your life as writing prompts mostly, and how you can look at the world differently if you're always looking at it toward, what am I going to write about today? It just gives you a different lens to look at your life with. So if you have time, it's about an hour. It's not required, but you feel free to listen to it if you want to. This is just the transcript if you want to follow along. Underneath that are all of the things with units. So here's serial. We're going to be listening to serial. I've talked about that already. So the serial transcript is here. That is our textbook. It is at the bookstore, and there's a little bit of extra things in the bookstore book. But if you don't want to come to campus and buy the book, feel free to print it yourself right here. This is the serial transcript. I think that once you click on this, you have to scroll all the way down and kind of search for it a little bit. I don't think that I could get a link that directly just linked right to the transcript, so you might have to dig around a little bit, but it is there. This is the main page of the podcast, so you can go there, and all of the episodes are listed there. And then I've also linked every individual episode. So if you want to go back to, episode 5 at some point, this might be an easier way to figure out where that is. After serial, there's a whole writer's notebook thing. The writer's notebook is all kinds of, all the rest of the writing that we're going to be doing in class that does not directly get graded within those 3 big papers. And this is 30% of your grade. So there's a bunch of things here about your writer's notebook. And then there's the personal narrative stuff, all of the documents that I'll be handing out, and then all the mentor texts are here. You have to click on that, and there's 18 mentor texts in there that you can look at to help you write your personal narrative. Then here's all of the documents and things for rhetorical mode, and all of the documents and things for argument. So as you can see, all of that is organized by unit, so you can find things easily. And that's all housed under general course documents. Usually what you're going to do is you're going to scroll right to week 1. And that's where we're going to begin. Week 1 is going to have everything in it that we're going to be doing for each week. Weeks, I told you already, will open up every Friday at noon. And so right now you only have access to week 1. And then here's part 1. And so you have everything here that you need for part 1 and everything you need for part 2. And this is, as I'm looking at it and as you're looking at it, there's going to be a few things that I still have to add. I have to make a couple more videos to put in here. And so it's not quite complete, but you'll get the idea of what that looks like. So that is where you're going to be doing the bulk of your writing. And everything here is linked. So if you want to go to the discussion, you can click here and it will take you to the discussion. If you want to go to this PDF document of the syllabus, which is right here in week 1, you can click on it and I will do that and it will take you to that document. So when I took online classes, I liked to have hard copies of like the syllabus and the course schedules. So if you wanted to print this, you absolutely can. I also did a lot of saving. So if you want to download anything, you can download it here and that will be saved to your hard drive. And then you can do whatever you want. But you can absolutely print from here and save things from here. So, and then you can go backwards by navigating up here to part 1. That will take you back to part 1. And when you're just in part 1, it gives you all of the directions and stuff as well on most things. Some things you have to scroll over there. But I want to show you how to navigate a different way though. So we came here through materials. And then we went to content, right? There it is. So you can go to communications as well. And then if you want to see who's in our class, you can hit class list. And everybody who's in our class is listed here. And if you wanted to email, like if I wanted to email, let's see who's first, Alexia. I would just click on her name and an email comes up and you can email her. Okay, so that is something that you can do. And then I'm not going to, so sorry about that. But that is a place that is going to be important once we start the class. And if you want to have some conversation with people, or if you know somebody in class and you want to continue your conversation or whatever, or if you're in a group with that person, this is a great place to be. So otherwise, in communications, you can also go to discussions.